Good morning. It is Tuesday of Holy Week, and Luna and I are continuing to reflect on Mark's Gospel, which is the Daily Lectionary reading. This morning, Jesus and the disciples again come into Jerusalem. And in chapter 11, the text says, "As Jesus was walking in the temple, the chief priests, the scribes, and the elders came to him and said, 'By what authority are you doing these things? Who gave you this authority to do them?' Jesus said to them, 'I will ask you one question. Answer me, and I will tell you by what authority I do these things. Did the baptism of John come from heaven, or was it of human origin? Answer me.' They argued with one another. 'If we say, from heaven,' he will say, 'why then did you not believe him? But shall we say of human origin?' They were afraid of the crowd, for all regarded John as truly a prophet. So they answered Jesus, 'We do not know.' And Jesus said to them, 'Neither will I tell you by what authority I am doing these things.'" These things that Jesus was doing was healing people, was loving people, teaching people, being attentive to God's people. Those were the things that he was doing, to which the Pharisees were objecting. And it got me to thinking about what are the things, where are the places in our lives where our pride or our desire for power or to be thought of well gets in the way of us listening to God's authority. I think the Pharisees knew on whose authority Jesus was doing these things, but they did not want God's authority to be the right answer because they wanted the attention on them. And so in our lives, one of the times when our pride gets in the way of listening to what God wills for our lives, for us to be compassionate, forgiving, merciful people. One of the times that we hold a grudge, saying that we have a right to do so. One of the times that we insist on our rights, even if they fly in the face of what is good for our neighbors. And in a time like this, when we are being asked to do extraordinary things, have an entirely new normal, one of the times that we get frustrated with what we're being asked to do. And can we turn anew to God in those times and recognize that God's authority is really the authority that is asking us to be present to our neighbors by not being present to our neighbors, to take care of our neighbors by sheltering in place. It's really easy to get frustrated with the demands that are being made on our lives right now. But ultimately, the authority that we look to is God's rule of love. And that's what Jesus was exercising. And so today, of this Tuesday of Holy Week, let's spend some time thinking about God's authority in our lives and the places where we need to recognize we don't live according to God's authority and can bring those places back in line with God's will for our lives. That's what we've got for today. Thanks for listening.